Starting recording. Okay. So welcome to our talk show. And I have with me today Kavita Jha. She is the CEO of Kickstar Technologies, which offers virtual try-on platform for fashion retail, for digital commerce with fitment and styling to enhance customer experience. It's an amazing organization that is building up itself very fast, and Kavita is the CEO of the organization, supporting it to build the organization to great success. So Kavita has a lot of experience in the technology industry and has really made a mark for herself. So welcome, Kavita.
Thank you, Karuna. It was very nice of you to get me here. It's a very nice introduction you have given. Yes, I have been working in technology for last almost 17 years, and I dabbled only in startups. That was my forte. For last 17 years, my journey started with a startup, and yes, lots of challenges, lots of adventures. But yes, I would say that my journey has been very fruitful, and I really enjoyed it, and that gave me the zeal to start this startup called Kickstar, which we usually say that it gives us the kick to start the Kickstar. So
Wow.
we are called as kickers in Kickstar.
Wow, I love the thought around that, kickers and kicks are awesome. So, Kavita, tell us more about your life journey. How's it been like? Why did you choose this career where you are today? So, tell us a little more, your life journey.
Okay, so basically, I started my journey in 2004. Uh, I am an MBA graduate.
Hmm.
And then when I joined in Bangalore after my marriage, it was so I did not perceive that I'll be a startup person. But what I did was the first company which I got was I was given the offer where the domain was completely new. It was a telecom domain. I absolutely did not I had no idea about it. But my CEO that time, he said that you just have faith in me and you need to work hard and you will get it. I said, working hard, I will not succumb. I'm giving it to it that I can work hard. And that's how I started my journey. And I would say that yes, hard work really pays. We do not need to be always like right now. I am facing this that, if you're an entrepreneur and if you're not from those elite colleges, you do not get investment, you do not get to hear from people. But I think those are just one of the factors which can help you to get your first push or first investment or the first part, but otherwise the journey has been that your hard work and your perseverance is the
Hmm.
key to success, and there is no shortcut for it. So
Yeah.
I would say that I have really put my hard work and perseverance with all my challenges, whatever I had to overcome, and then never to give up attitude. I don't give up even if I'm in my toughest position or toughest situation. I don't give up. I try to find a way out of it and then move on. So that has
Wow.
been my mantra, that perseverance, hard work, and never to give up attitude. So with
Wow.
that, this is my third startup. Two startups I have worked, and my last startup was Ramyam Intelligence Lab, where I would say I was very instrumental in getting it sold to a very big conglomerate, which is called Bertelsmann,
Hmm.
and we sold it to them. And I was handling the complete technical or the engineering part of it, heading the complete product portfolio, and dabbling with all architects and working with them who always working with architects are always a challenge because they have high headedness, that how a uh, how just a woman can come and say that please do this because I understand this is the right thing. But I think I could maneuver to it successfully, and I'm at stage what I did, and that's what gave me the zeal to start up Kickstarter.
Amazing. And I think, Kavita, do you have, you've been in the engineering field for so many years. How did you end up choosing technology as your, career?
As a background, I am electronics person and then MBA in information system. So yet I always had the inclination towards IT and information technology. But yes, what really gave me this interest was uh, the first company which I started working was Exalted Networks.
Mhm.
That was in telecom. Then I completely dabbled with complete telecom domain, and I understood that, okay, how a telecom network works and everything. And then I created a product which was deployed across the world. And those, I mean, in telecom per se, it was OSS BSS solution. So it was really, I mean, I got that confidence that I could create products which is acceptable globally.
Yeah.
Then suddenly after that, I got opportunity to work in a company which was in offering customer experience by providing next best actions, which was in across all the verticals. So what happened was I was always given opportunity. I was not restricted to any one domain or one technology. And one thing which we all have to do is startup gives you lots of opportunities. It's how you grab it. I
Yeah.
could have just taken one role and then done it and then moved in my journey. But what I did was any opportunity I got it, I was okay to take that challenge and learn new technologies with no inhibitions that, how can I learn it? I never had that factor that how can I not learn it? I always believed that. And then that's how I got interested. And fortunately, I can say my mentors always believed in me, and they gave me this opportunity that, yes, I'll be only working with technology. And also, as my journey started, I could not take the pure sales roles because of my family, restrictions, because I had two small daughters. I could not travel much. So with that, what I did was I always managed the complete technical portfolio of the companies. And that's how I got this interest that I'll be always working. So I can say I'm a techno commercial person. I can go for pre-sales work, but if an architect comes and speaks to me, I know what they are talking. You cannot just talk to me in a very layman say that you don't understand. I understand technology very well.
That's very interesting. And I think the fact that you told yourself so many times that why is it that I can't learn that, got you to explore various aspects of technology industry and pick up better roles all the time, and you continue to make a mark in your career.
Correct.
So how does it feel to work in a startup? As you said, a startup gives you a lot of opportunities. um, how does it feel to work in the startups, for being a woman, a technology person? You don't find a lot of such people taking up bigger roles. You find a lot of women in the technology industry maybe at the junior levels, mid levels, but shifting to much more senior positions, you find a lot of drops happening.
Yeah.
How did you choose to, what made you keep going basically?
Uh, I think one thing which we women have to learn is that we have to believe in ourselves. Usually we underestimate ourselves. That's what I believe. Even I have done that many times, but yes, with my journey, I have learned that, I need to believe in myself. There was a very interesting thing I read that, they say that a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she's put it in that hot water. And
I like that analogy.
then you understand that, what you can do. And I would really relate to this because, and specifically, I'll give you an incident. So I was working in Ramyam Labs, and I was heading the complete engineering. And then I had my second daughter. So I had to take, obviously, 6 months, I took a I did not take sabbatical. I mean, rather, I came back to office in fifth month itself. But yes, that time, that period was very crucial for Ramyam. So what they did was we were growing, so we had to get people. uh, so they got new people, and as soon as I came back from my maternity leave, I see a complete new company. In that 6 months, lots of hires had happened and everything. And then I felt, first day when I stepped in, I felt, am I in the right place? Like, is it the same company I left 6 months back? And then because I was directly reporting to the CEO when I left. When I came back, a third person comes in. I am told that I have to report to that person.
Okay.
And I said, I took it in my stride. Yes, I felt very, very hurt. Yes, it did. Like, is it that just, a women? So that is the time which became a turning point for me. I felt that, okay, a woman, just because she goes for a maternity leave, she doesn't need to be pushed back. she has to be given that same importance, because this is a biological thing which everybody has to go through. I mean, I'm I want to do both. I want to have bring my children, and I want to be a career woman. So that was one trigger point which I think really changed my life. What I did was I uh, followed all the norms, what was told to me, that yes, I'll report to that person. But something was there in me, which really made me feel that I need to now prove myself. I need to take something which really changes the course of the company, and it really gives an impact. And then I don't need to say anything. It will be very thing. And that's what I did. What I did was, we needed to upgrade a lot of technologies to sustain the market competition. So I went and presented my case to my CEO and my CTO, and then told them that, I would like to take this, but I'm giving you with the caveat that, it might fail because I'm going to try new things, but you need to give me 3 months. I'm buying 3 months for you, and the no intervention required. I'll do it. If I fail, I listen to what y'all are telling and I go in that. But if I succeed, it's a win for the company.
Mm.
Uh, Good factor was my management agreed to it. So I did it. I created a team. I completely understood the new technology, which was the need of the hour, got it adopted in our product. And that was a very big win for the company, because of that product adoption, or the technology adoption, even the buyers, the acquisition, the company which was doing our due diligence, they really felt that was a big change in our whole ecosystem. And
Mm.
I could so I had initially I had built a company, a product team, then I left that product team to that team which was managing it, and then again I started from scratch and built a complete new technology, new product, new team members, nobody I knew. But very successfully I could rally it, and then create a 35-member team. And then we completed the due diligence, and we got acquired. And after the acquisition also, I got a lot of appreciation because of my technology know-how, and I was able to, we had to collaborate with international, because it was an international company, so we had to work across geography. Rather, they were in many countries. So I traveled all the places, and my technology know-how was really appreciated. And that really gave me that, I can take something in my stride, prove it. I don't need to go and speak. My work should speak. And I think that was the turning point, even to make me realize that, I could. I think my husband understood that, and he said that, why do you work for a company? You should start yours, because you could do so well everything.
Wow.
Probably that was the seed for my entrepreneurship. I'm the first entrepreneur in my family to
Wow.
go
More
on.
power to you.
There's not a single entrepreneur in my family, and my family was like, are you okay, really you want to get into entrepreneurship, because it's a different ball game. So I feel that women have to believe in themselves, and we don't need to, one more thing which I feel, we don't need to get into this, equality factor.
Yeah.
Women are different. You cannot compare a men and women. Women are different.
Yeah,
And
and when I look at your journey, you chose to be a powerful person in a certain space,
correct.
even though which meant that okay, you couldn't travel, so you made kind of adjustments around that,
Yes,
and you now have chosen, once things were a little better at your place, you chose to then start traveling also.
exactly.
Those were some adjustments you made, but then you chose that okay, wherever your area of expertise is, you would never give up. I mean, the message that I'm getting for everybody here is that never give up. Even though when you came in and you found, oh my god, you feeling like demoted from the work that you were sitting at in just 5 months. Okay, somebody might say that okay, technology moves very fast, and in 5 months you might not be you know shaped up to what you are right now. But I think what is more important is the fact that you chose to be in a solution centric space. Rather than cribbing about it, you said okay, give me this time, I'm going to make it happen. And I'm sure with the conviction that you said to your CEO or founders must have just gone through that, that energy would have just gone to them, that they really chose to take that leap of faith with you.
I completely agree with you, Karina, because that's exactly what happened. Because after the acquisition, the person whom I was reporting to, he became my colleague.
Okay, awesome.
So we both became colleague and there was no reporting business. So yes, I understand that really it caused some ripple, but it's okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
did not override on him. I
Mm.
would really say that I respected him, that okay, he supported in my journey when
Mm.
I was doing the technology onboarding and all. But yes, I did not had, I mean, I did not have it in mind that I have to prove him. I
Yeah.
had in my mind that I need to prove myself that, just because 6 months I have taken a sabbatical doesn't mean that I am out of technology. I
Yes.
can learn and then learn it and then work with the team and get it. And that is the only place where I feel a lot of women just give up
Mm.
because the pressure of bringing up a child, bringing up taking care of home, and then having such a challenging job is very difficult. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not easy. It's very easy for me to say like this, but I know what I went through. Like, there were days when I could not even spend half an hour with my daughter because I had to, just I had to do the necessities, the daily course, and just rush to my work because there also it was critical. But I chose that path because I felt that I'm also giving a message to my daughters, that
Mm.
you don't need to be succumbing and saying, I am a woman. No,
Mm.
you are an individual who, with the hard work and, with conviction and with perseverance, can do things. So
Wow. I
I
love that thought. Yeah.
I mean, I don't, because lots of my friends, when they saw my hardship, they were like, Kavita, just give up. Like, what are you trying to,
Yeah.
do
What is
this for?
the point of doing all this?
Like, it's not that you don't have money to eat or something. I said, it's not about money. See, I had that ambition that, I would be someone. And just because I became a mother doesn't mean that, I just give up because I'm not able to handle the pressure.
Because that's just one role of your life.
Correct. And I'm not hesitating to take that role also with the full conviction that yes, I would be and I think I'm a very good mother. I don't feel that my daughters really feel that their mother is a superwoman. I mean,
I
yeah,
remember you telling me that your daughters always quote this, that you are the CEO in the company.
yes, they always now, because, I mean, yes, their things are very petty. They feel that because I have a room, I have a cabin, and then it has a blackboard where you can use. So because of that, they want to become CEO. But yes, I see, like, my daughter says, like, I asked her, this concept, because usually now they're getting into age where they say boys are better than girls, or
Mm.
girls are better than boys whenever they'll have arguments. So I was asking her, why do you feel that girls are better, or why do you think boys are better? So she had a very simple reasoning. What she said is, girls are very giving in nature. Okay, see, you do everything for us, and then you go and work in the company also, and you help your people. But daddies don't do that. For her, boys are daddy and girls are mother. So but boys, I see, they only like to take things from others. They don't like to share. I mean, that was a very naive, innocent
Yeah.
thing. But look at her explanation. What she feels is girls are giving. So then, same thing, if I adopt, I didn't need to, snatch my position. I just needed to prove myself, and then I got it. So we don't have to, like, what I say is, you don't have to step on someone else to
Mm.
usually what happens, it is always said that, if you are aggressive, that means women are not good. But I
Mm.
don't think aggression always means that you have to step on someone else.
Yeah.
Aggression can be in your work, in your style of work,
Yes.
and that's it.
And you
So
know what? When men are being aggressive, it is considered that they are going to be very successful.
yes, and when women are there, they are considered, oh, they are not good women. I don't agree to it, because aggression doesn't mean that I'm going to come and fight with you.
Yes, yes.
Aggression is that I don't I mean, I don't tolerate nonsense. I
Mm.
don't need to be a secondary in anything. I
Mm.
can be I can be standing next to your shoulder. I don't even say I'm equal, because there is nothing like equal.
Mm.
This is, I'm very clear, which I tell even my friends, that I don't know why we women have only started this, that we need to be equal. What is equal? How can a women be equal to men? God itself has not made it equal.
Yeah.
God has given lots of power to women, which we should understand it and then work on it. So the only thing which I would like to really convey, if all the mothers or women is that don't give up.
Mm.
Yes, we have hardships. Who doesn't has it? Everybody has it. But
So, Kavita, you would have had some times, when mentally, emotionally, you felt like giving up, or there was so much of pressure and stress that came into your situation that you were in. How did you deal with that?
very well said, Karuna. Many times, even, and specifically, my entrepreneurship journey has been really tough because it's been 2 years now I started. But yes, there are many times. So one is that to just give peace to my mind, I do a little bit of yoga. But yes, I would not say that that is uh, the best I can do. But yes, I try to do. Secondly, my mm, mentor or my bouncing board is my mother.
Mm.
I discuss with her. I mean, she's not a technology person. She is not she is a homemaker. But what I understand is she's another woman who gives me that power of not giving up.
Mm.
Whenever I feel like I have gone to her, I said, it's enough. I cannot manage it. I'm
Mm.
just going to tell my co-founder that, please find someone else and I'm giving up. Then she says, I did not bring you up for this. I mean, yes, I understand what you are doing, but find a thing. If not, just let it settle down. So what she says is that when you are really stressed out, don't try to, start pondering over it so much.
Mm.
Just give time to it. Slowly you will get solution, because what happens, a simple thing like now this COVID happened.
Mm.
It was a
Yes.
big blow to us. Like I was like, how do I manage my 50-member team? This
Mm.
was like, we had series of uh, discussions in the month of March, and that what do I do? Do I fire people? Do I, just close the company? And then and then I literally went and spoke to my mom. So she said, just give 1 month, just let it flow, flow with the thing, and let's see after 1 month. And thanks to her, I would really say, Karuna, that after 1 month, suddenly we started getting leads because our domain is
Wow.
very niche,
Wow.
and if I would have given up, I would have really repented it. But
Yes.
at 1 month, which I sustained and I went through it, my before COVID, we had 6 customers. That means before March, I
Yep.
had 6 customers. Now I have 30 customers.
Wow.
So
That's a real leap.
So I think because one thing was the tailwind was going towards AR adoption. So yes, that time I could not foresee it that it would really help me.
Mm.
So yes, what I would say is that what helped me was to just flow, go with the
Hang in
flow
there,
and hang in
persevere.
there. Don't give up,
Yeah.
and things will change. And that is what has changed.
Wow. And you know what? It's not necessary that we find real time heroes in entrepreneurship or jobs, etc. Your real time heroes could be our moms, or, someone who's just giving you that strength to keep going.
Yes, 100%. And we sometimes see, like, we feel, if I have a problem, I'll say, what will she help me with?
Yeah.
But what I have been, what lucky was that she is my sounding board. I always, whenever I'm depressed or I have very stressed out, I just go talk, I speak to her. It's one of my daily core to speak to her when I'm driving back or
Okay.
driving to office. So that time I tell her. And I think mothers, now that I am also mother, we understand, even our uh, uh, tone also, they understand if we are stressed or if our,
Mm.
so she
Yes.
understands it. So she says, okay, what is your problem, just speak it out. So I
Mm.
think sometimes we just don't need to be because that is one thing also I feel women don't do. We don't do networking too much.
Wow. That's so true. That's so true.
We like, see, men really network very well. Like, see, for example, I have been in an MBA college. I have been, like, right now I'm in an incubator where we are 15 entrepreneurs working in the part of that incubator, but we hardly network.
Mm.
It's a problem with women, it's not problem with men.
Mm.
Men, if they have, they'll grab every opportunity to network, go have a coffee, tea, drinks, anything. For us, we think, do we really need to do that, or we'll do some work?
Mm.
So I think one thing which we have to really break our shackles and do is that go speak to people.
Mm.
Even I am not good at it, but I'm trying to work on it, because I feel that when you speak to people, if nothing, you get, you get a peace of mind by speaking and opening up.
Yes.
We are not telling that you have to go and tell your dark secrets. Nobody's
There could
asking
be
us.
similar challenges that we might be
Exactly.
experiencing.
Exactly. And another inhibition we have is, okay, what if I tell this, what he or she will feel about it?
Yes, we have those fears, inhibitions. We feel we will
So
be judged.
exactly. But why? I mean, when a man goes and takes a help from another man, they don't think that, oh, what my friend or my acquaintance will think. Why do we think? So I
Hmm.
think problem is with women itself. They have to themselves solve it. And I am also, I feel I have those weaknesses which I'm trying to overcome. But
Yeah.
yes, I surely would like to give that advice that we should network, we should go out our way to take help from each other. We should not feel that, we'll be judged or competition. I mean, we are not going to compete with every person we meet in our life. We
Hmm.
only will have, and I don't think we need to compete. Everybody has their own journey, and
Hmm.
you need to be successful in your journey. We don't need to
Savita,
compete.
how do you balance your personal life, your relationships as a wife or a mother, along with your, entrepreneurship? It's a new business, 2 years old business.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that? How do you kind of balance both of these things?
So one thing I try to, I mean, follow is that when I'm in office, I try to focus on office work,
Hmm.
and when I'm at home, I try my level best not to take calls or not get into meetings. That is why, if you ask me, this COVID, I really personally do not like it, because there is no end to it. You are at home, so anytime people are calling and speaking, and meetings are getting extended. So one thing I have made a rule is, when, like for example, as soon as I go back home, like around 7, from 7 to 10, I try to avoid not taking any calls when
Hmm.
I'm at home. I
Hmm.
try to give that time to my children,
Hmm.
because uh, we have a very routine, like, my children are in daycare, so we all come and at home after 6, so
Yeah.
everybody has a busy day. And when we come back, I try to see that, like for example, one rule I follow is, dinner table, we need to have dinner together. I mean, we are not very fond of watching TV. I don't get time to watch, so I prefer, so that one rule I'm very strict about. Like, yes, we all four should be having our dinner together, because that's the time we try to bond.
Yes.
And then in the mornings, like usually we have the habit that immediately we get up, we start checking our mobiles. I don't do that.
Hmm.
Usually I get up, I do my daily course, then I go and mm, work with my daughters. And only after 8:30 or so, I go and check my mobile. So
Hmm.
I have set this pattern that, if you need to have a very important meeting with me in the morning, you need to let me know. Then
In
I'm going to plan. It's not that you just call and tell me. I don't do it. And
Okay.
then Saturdays, Sundays, yes, that's the only time I get. So I'm not a very outgoing person. So I try to be in the house and work with them. So those are my small ways to balance my work life balance. But yes, it's not so easy, specifically after I have started my own company, because 24 by 7, I have to think
Yeah.
about that. And also, I have to think about my family.
So
So
it's
it
like
happens.
another baby that you have.
Exactly. So see, if someone tells you, that are you have you compart so basically we have created our compartments and we work on it,
Yeah.
but all of them intertwine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that, we say, okay, like for example, if I'm in office, and if, like, you are also a mother, if you
Mm.
get a call that your daughter is there, like, and you are at home, you
Mm.
must be always, at the back of your mind, you
Yes.
always be thinking that, oh, my daughter has sneezed, is there something happened?
Yeah, of course. I do that
So
all the
I
time.
think we have one good thing. I think we have, as a women, we have is we are very good in multitasking. I
Mm.
would say that compared to men, that is the only thing I see, that we are very good in multitasking, and we should really encash that,
Mm.
not give up, because if you really work on it properly, we can do it.
So one of the things I also observed while you were talking is that you said, focusing on your work when you are in that work at that moment. So
Mm.
giving that full attention to that thing, so when you're at work, give it the best and the best shot that you can, and then kind of keep moving to the other things that come in. So that
Correct.
is also very interesting. And I think that came out very well for you in terms of creating a balance for yourself. So, as an entrepreneur, from a business aspect, when you reach out to clients, are there any stereotypes that you experience, and how have you managed to kind of deal with it? especially being in technology industry? Are there?
Yeah, basically, I don't know why this feeling comes like, but usually, like what they call, I mean, some of the men they call and they say, if you, I really empathize with you. If you need any help, reach out to me, because you are in a space where there are not very good people. So if you ask me, I really laugh at it. I really don't like that, because what is so the space is both for men and women, right? What is the difference? But yes, like for example, if a customer is trying, I have one thing which I understood was that the designation or the power helps.
Mm.
So people see that. I mean, I don't really feel that okay, just because you have a designation of CEO, it gives you horns on your head. But yes, I do know that it helps you in some ways.
Mm.
So they know that okay, like for example, if some people come and say that um, I heard them making a comment. Yeah, if a woman is there, then there will be a lot of chaos because they cannot handle the pressure.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that is your perception.
Mm.
So what they felt was that okay, it's a startup and it is being led by women. So women have they are not able to sustain pressure. So there will be she will be falling on someone, for help. So these kind of thing comes, but I think those are very trivial because it's your own perception which you cannot change. So I think that, but yes, one thing which I know is that I get a lot of empathy that,
Mm.
oh, you are thing which, if you ask me, I don't really need it. I
Mm.
don't want to be empathized. You need to give
This is
me
not empathy.
like give the same thing when
Yeah.
you empathize with a man. Like I know
Yeah.
one of the my so there was one customer of mine. Um, we onboarded him during the COVID. So what that customer did it replaced with another vendor. They
Mm.
chose us due to many factors. They chose us. So then the other company CEO he found out. I did not know about it also that he was replaced, but he found out and he did all his research and he called me back, and he's like, congratulations. So if you ask me, I really felt nice that okay, he's genuinely actually this thing, but that was not the case. What he did is he said, you replaced me and all. I said, I'm very sorry about it to hear, but I did not replace you. First of all, my product was chosen by the customer. So it's my product which spoke and not me. I did not do anything. And secondly, he gave me this advice that, this eyewear business, because that was the product in eyewear. So this eyewear business is very ruthless. It is dominated by legacy people and all are being led by men. So you'll have tough time to get inroads into it.
Mm.
So if you need any help, so I asked him only question, what will you do?
Yeah.
It's a competition, fine. I respect that there is a lot of competition. What will you do? He says that, yeah, I will work and I will talk to people. I said, I'm also doing the same thing. I don't need to be careful. What do I need to be careful? So where I felt little bad was that, that thing of women. You are a woman, you need to be careful. What a man will do, same thing I'm going to do. So that is where I told him that thank you, but I don't think I'm in any wrong place. I'm very happy with what I'm getting, and I think I don't need to do anything if my product is very good.
Mm.
So we'll just. So he's like, okay, and then he comes and says, "Can we work together?"
Okay.
So I said yes, but I don't. So what he wanted was that take my solution, white label it, and do it. So he thought that I'll be a very easy trap to just tell yes, yes, please go ahead and take my product. But I think that way I have learned, and I'm rather, I would say I'm a very tough person to crack compared to my partner. So he's a man, but I like usually when there is a tough decisions, it's me who takes a shot and not him. So
Wow, I love that.
I don't succumb to, yes, I don't feel that I need to be overriding on your emotions or, I respect that. I really take like every decision I take, I say, if I'm in that place,
Yeah.
how will I do?
To make
Uh,
those decisions with grit and grace, that's what I use as
Not that, just because I'm a woman, you can just come and tell me that, you can do it. So,
I
uh,
love that attitude about you, Kavita. And I know, both of us have worked in the same organization
yes.
and the kind
So,
of experiences we've had. we know, I've always been inspired with the, strength that you always showcase, the confidence that you showcase. I think that confidence and that belief in you has got you where you are right now today. I mean, that's my way to
Yeah,
look
actually, I
at it.
remember in our last thing when we spoke last time, I think you were like, it's a real tough thing to work here, but we have to sail through it. And yes, I mean, exactly. We have to sail through it and find our ways. And yes, if it really doesn't convert, let's move on. We don't need to have grudges against people and all. It is just not the right road for us.
Yeah, you can be on that road, experiment it, but if it's not ours, move ahead into another direction and make that choice. So I love this, example that you've given, when you come across this empathy, Kurt, that is not really empathy but something else, that
Exactly.
they're trying to convey to you, or maybe put you down in terms of that, okay, you need help, rather than that, what if you encourage the other person with a different in a different way, which really is empowering for them.
Exactly.
And the idea is just give that space so that, women can just shine on. That's what I put it as. So what would be some 2 3 pointers or insights that you might have, you would like to give, um, to women leaders and entrepreneurs who are listening to us, so that they can, use those tips to, even go further in life.
I mean, I don't think I can give any. Only thing I can give few things which I can say is that every entrepreneur journey is different. So
Mm.
let's not compare
Yeah.
and then you get stressed out because you do not know what situation I am in and I'm taking. Same thing, I do not know, like, what you're doing. So we have to carve our journey and stick to it. Don't get baffled or don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
If I have to say, don't compare yourself because we are two different individuals and each one of us have been put in different situations and circumstances which we have to overcome and move on.
But then
Both,
some of us sometimes get in that victim mode where we say, okay, my situation is not like yours, and
yes.
I am, not being able to do this, and it kind of just pulls us down as well.
So I think that time only thing you have to see is someone who is suffering more than you.
Yeah.
Don't see
I like
someone
that.
who's someone like, just look down and don't look up because when you look up, you'll feel, oh, wow, they are like, see, a simple example, even Mr. Mukesh Ambani must be having his own battles to fight and he has his own aspirations like mine. But I cannot compare with him and then get stressed out that, I have my journey and I do it. So one thing which usually as an entrepreneur, be it men or women, I think we all do is uh, we compare ourselves and then get stuck in that and get stressed out. So
Mm.
I think one thing which I have learned in a harder way now, because after 2 years, and also I was in startup, so I knew what difficult, because in my house what happened was I was a startup person and my husband was always in all the MNCs,
Mm.
always in big MNCs. So I didn't find his path very rosy. He had his own challenges. So
Wow.
that means everybody has to carve out their journey and, tread the journey. So I think one thing which I would really advise, or I would, not the right word is not advise, I would say that try not to compare and then uh, create your own journey and live through it. And I mean, define your success. Like, what is success for you?
Mm.
For maybe for you success is that I need to have a island bought, and for
Yeah.
me it is that I have a good company where I am able to make my employees happy and they are passionate about it. That is my success. So
Yes.
I would say define your success definition and then work towards it.
Yeah, and I would also say that many a times we need some coaches and mentors to help us, and that's where even networking becomes very
Exactly.
important for us,
Yes.
to make that difference, because you don't know, a lot of your challenges might be some other person's challenges also, or they might have overcome those challenges. So those
100%.
experiences give us tips to be able to persevere.
100%. And I think because I think we both can correlate to that because we both have started our journey and we are both having, and we are able to correlate that what problems you must be having and you are having and similar I might be also having. So yes, very rightly you said we need to network, which I had highlighted earlier. We don't do it, or we do it comparatively less. So
Mm.
we should network and discuss, because there's no harm in discussing your problems. Nobody is going to judge, and even if they judge us, it's okay. Like,
Mm.
see, uh, I consider Indrani Nui as one of my role model.
Mm.
She was considered, or she was perceived as, oh, she's a very aggressive. But if you really see her story, she also had her own hardships. She
Yes.
had to prove it. And she was, I remember one of the story I read that, she had a very tough day and she went home. And then her mother, and then her husband and her children are at home. And then there was milk was not there to make coffee because her husband wanted a coffee. And then immediately her mother says to Indrani that, you should go and buy it. And she was like, why should I go and buy it? I also had a very rough day and my husband also had. But
Mm.
the mother said that that is your duty. So now we need to find our ways how to, work
Lead through
towards it.
that. Yeah.
And we don't need to always. So what I'm saying is break the shackles. But yes, I'm not saying that you fight and, don't
Yeah.
follow any, because if you ask me, uh, I'm a very traditional person. I follow like every rituals. I do everything. But when I'm in the office, no one believes that. That is the same Kavita who at home will, like, for example, I think you must be knowing, you all have the Karwa Chauth.
Yeah.
Same way we have a Tej. So
Mm.
in Tej, when I don't drink water. Now my friends say that, how can you do this at this age generation? I said, there is nothing like generation. That is my belief. And there is nothing being modernization for it. It's
Mm.
a belief which I believe. And uh, just because I'm in a 21st century doesn't make me feel that, don't need. So what I feel is, have your belief systems and your uh, philosophies of your life very clear, and
Mm.
then live by it. You don't have to ask somebody else to, like, we feel that, oh, usually because we have this habit, okay, we will ask. Why should you ask? Does a man, when he needs to do something, does he come and ask you? So have that, uh, faith in yourself
Yeah.
that you can do it. I think one thing which probably you being in HR and doing in this, I think you will have to really change that perception that women have to start believing in themselves. Like,
Yeah.
see, I have a woman here. She says, no, I have a family, no, Kavita ma'am. So how can I take any job where, I have to work, and what will my son say? I'm like, what will your son say? Nothing. He'll be proud of you. No, no, no. Then how will he get food? So we start thinking about very small things, trivial things, which,
Mm.
see, like my daughter, if you go and tell your son that, I have a meeting at 7 o'clock, so please plan your thing and you tell me what you want to eat, I'll cook and then I'll do it. I don't think he'll feel bad. Rather, he'll be proud of you.
I have an example from my own personal life that I would like to share here, which
Yeah.
is like, I my daughter is just 10 months old. She was born in January 2020, and in March, I got this opportunity to do a keynote speaking for women leaders in a company. There were like 50 plus women leaders that I had to address on Women's Day, kind of an occasion, a few days before Women's Day. And I was just like 45 days plus, when my baby was born, and I was given this opportunity, and I never wanted to miss that, because
Yeah.
at one place I wanted to inspire people and go and take up that job of project. The other place I was also concerned about that, okay,
My
the
daughter.
child is so small, how will I leave her? That feeling of guilt was so huge, and I could not really make a decision that, okay, what do I do? But the day I was planning that, okay, should what answer do I need to give to my client, I chose to think of it like that, that okay, if I go, what will happen? So when I chose to think like that, I realized that, okay, she'll be without me for a few hours.
Yes.
And in that time, if somebody else is feeding her and I'll be back after some time, um, is that what she will remember about me? Or will she remember that the impact that I created on those women on a certain day, which changed their lives as well?
Exactly. I mean, exactly. That is what I feel, that we don't need to be always at a guilt. It's absolutely fine, because that's why I said, like one thing I can really proudly say that our children also will, learn what we are imbibing to them. And I feel that my daughters are no lesser than a mother who's a homemaker, no lesser than them. But I'm not saying that homemaker are not good. That is their choice, which is I respect it. But I don't need to feel guilty if I'm not able to attend a PTM.
Yes.
Perfectly fine. I mean, that's
And
one of the
that day, I just felt that, I need to set aside the guilt and make sure that, that was my why of my life. And she's going to look at the inspiration I create for other people and
no,
the
and
role
she'll
model
be
I am, as compared to, the 2 hours or 5 hours, whatever hours I left her and like, went for work.
those are very trivial. She'll never remember it. But yes, if you tell her the story that I went in, when you were 45 days old and I went out and I gave this, and there were so many women who looked up on me, I think she'll be more proud of you
Yes.
than that
So true.
that guilt. So yes, as
We need to
rightly
get
you
our whys clear and
said,
have that understanding that the child is going to role model you. So
exactly.
you live that life of a strong person, a leader, the child
Yes.
is going to be a much more a great person.
100%. I completely agree to that. And I feel that very strongly. And that's what I have been leading that, I need to teach my daughters that you are independent, you have your own personality. We give you that respect, but you don't need to disrespect anyone. You
Mm.
don't need to be a rebel, but you don't need to be always getting into that society norms that, you only do this, you do this. No, you are free to do.
Choose your own path. Yeah.
And I think our parents have done that. That's why we are in this journey.
So isn't it empowering, telling an individual choose your own path and live your own life in the way you
Exactly.
want to, and you're role modeling it for the child.
Yes. So hopefully our child's, both our daughters will be like, when we grow old, they'll be like, okay, my mothers were some role models. I just hope they
Awesome. So
consider.
I encourage more role models to, shape up, and and that's the purpose of doing these talks, where we want to bring in inspiring people like you who have broken stereotypes and with confidence in a in a sector in technology industry. At times you find limited women around. I
Yeah,
really feel that this is very inspiring to let people, women know, entrepreneurs know that it's possible. It's so important to just be confident about your own self. And look at Kavita's story. She's created such inspiration for all of us.
thank you, Karuna. That was very kind of you. But yes, I don't say that my story is the best. But yes, I do believe that with my perseverance and hard work and not giving up, you can achieve anything. There's nothing
Amazing.
impossible.
Amazing. Loved interacting with you, Kavita, and this was so awesome. And I'm sure after, a lot of people watch it, they will be inspired by your story and inspired to continue in their journeys of creating an impact in life. So
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Karuna.
much for this time and opportunity.
Thank you, Karuna, and I wish you best of luck because you are doing a great thing, making women aware of it that we have like such companions and we should just explore it. So
Yes.
thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you.